Dear President and members of the school board, as you may already know, suicide has been a constant issue in our society for the past several decades. It is an affair that we have to be aware of to take action. According to the Centers for Disease of Control and Prevention, suicide is the third leading cause of death for teenagers between 10 and 24. In this text, it portrays the importance of educating the youth about suicide prevention. I would like to emphasize that the primary purpose of my letter is to create awareness about suicide in schools. I believe it is a topic that has to be constantly discussed by knowledgeable professors to create a solution. First, I will state one of the main causes that lead teenagers to commit suicide: bullying. Then, it will explain how bullying can develop into a mood disorder, depression. As mentioned before, the intent of this letter is to be an eye-opening statement to society regarding this topic. Many causes lead teenagers to commit suicide, but one of the main factors is bullying. Bullying is a learned behavior that occurs a repeated amount of times, and this is done intentionally to hurt someone either physically or emotionally. Usually, it is based on the prejudice of race, religion, gender, and their sexual orientation. Bullying is extremely common in schools. According to Pacer's National Bullying Prevention Center, 1 out of every 5 students reported being victims of bullying. Nonetheless, it is important to keep in mind that most of the victims don't stand up for themselves. Bullying is a serious problem and society should be aware of it. It has the power to have serious effects of the actions on individuals. It can lead to consequences that have no solution, such as suicide. However, some may believe that suicide is a permanent solution for all the problems. Do you agree? I sure do not. I can understand the agony of an individual that believes there is no escape from their cruel reality, but I believe that we have the obligation as a society and school to teach the right solutions. Bullying is a very common issue that tremendously affects society. It does not have to be a physical attack. Words can have the same or more adverse effects on a person. We have to be aware of the power of our words. Bullying is the first stage of suicide. It can develop into a mood disorder, such as depression. Depression is a common illness and it negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Many oppose the idea that depression is a disorder and believe that it's just an excuse to get attention. However, it is not true. Depression is a real issue for many individuals of diverse ages. It can lead to suicidal thoughts that make a person feel insecure, sad, useless, worthless, isolated, and they're utterly different. From my point of view, schools should accept the effects and influences of depression on students. I believe institutions should be educating their students regarding of this issue and teach them the consequences and solutions. It is a topic that should be addressed cautionally and with patience. According to Mind for Better Mental Health, depression has the tendency to make a person feel like he or she is inside a black hole. Sometimes it seems like you want to cry and let it all out. It's recommended that a temporary solution is to be active at all time and keep your mind busy. However, these individuals need to get in contact with experts in this field. Schools need to share this information with their students to make a difference. As the president and members of the school board, I believe you have an obligation to integrate all the students. We have to educate our youth of the consequences of words and actions. At the same time, the school board should ensure that students know the suicidal preventions to decrease the percentage of teen suicide. It is important to restate that bullying is one of the primary causes of death. Also, we have to emphasize that bullying can lead to various disorders. Now it's your turn. Do you think that schools should teach students about suicide prevention?